Hey guys, this is Korean Danny. Today, we're diving into something different: life in Seoul versus life in Cebu. At first glance, you might think these two cities have nothing in common. One is a super modern Asian capital, and the other is a laid-back island city in the Philippines. But here's the surprise: when you look closer, you'll find not only big differences, but also some unexpected similarities that make each city unique. So in this video, let's break it down: the pace of life, transportation, food, community, and even how people enjoy music. By the end, you'll see why comparing Seoul and Cebu is more than just geography. It's about culture and lifestyle. When you think about Seoul, one word comes to mind: speed. People walk fast, eat fast, and even talk fast. The city runs 247, with convenience stores and cafes open all night. Efficiency isn't just a lifestyle, it's almost a survival skill. But Cebu is the opposite. It's all about slowing down. Life moves at a relaxed pace. People don't rush to the next thing. Even time feels different. You've probably heard of Filipino time. Things don't always start exactly on schedule. But that's because relationships and moments are valued more than the clock. Here's the point: Seoul teaches you discipline and productivity, while Cebu reminds you to breathe, enjoy the moment, and connect with people. Both rhythms have their strengths, but they create completely different lifestyles. When you think of Seoul, transportation is the definition of speed and precision. The subway network stretches across the entire city. Trains come almost exactly on time, and with one card you can ride subways, buses, and even pay at stores. During rush hour, stations are packed and crowded, but people still expect everything to move like clockwork. In Seoul, being just a few minutes late feels like a failure, and that shows how deeply the pali-pali or hurry-hurry culture is built into daily life. Transportation here is efficient, but also a little stressful, because the system trains people to value every single minute. Now compare that to Cebu. The most iconic ride here is the jeepney, brightly painted, full of personality, and deeply social. You pay your fare by handing it through strangers, and when it's time to get off, you just call out, "Para." Inside a jeepney, people laugh, talk, and sometimes music fills the ride. Transportation isn't silent or private. It's a slice of community life. Traffic can be unpredictable, but people don't react with frustration the way Soulites might. In fact, Filipino time shows that what matters more than the clock is arriving safely and enjoying the journey. Here's the contrast: Seoul's transportation connects places with precision, but Cebu's connects people through community. One is built on discipline and efficiency, the other on adaptability and human connection. Both systems move you forward, but they shape completely different lifestyles, and that difference is exactly what makes each city unique. When we talk about lifestyle, nothing shows the difference between Seoul and Cebu more clearly than food and cost of living. In Seoul, eating out is convenient but expensive. A simple lunch in the city can cost as much as an entire day's worth of meals in Cebu. Of course, Korea has world-class variety: Korean BBQ, endless cafes, and delivery apps that can bring anything from fried chicken to ice cream right to your door in minutes. Convenience is king, but it comes with a price. Rent, utilities, and groceries are also among the highest in Asia. So people in Seoul often feel pressure to work more just to keep up with the city's lifestyle. Cebu, on the other hand, offers a very different experience. Fresh mangoes, seafood from the local market, and home-style carinderia meals make daily eating both affordable and satisfying. For the price of one coffee in Seoul, you can have a full plate of rice, meat, and vegetables in Cebu. Dining out is common, but it feels less like a luxury and more like an everyday habit. Living expenses, overall housing, food, transportation are far lower, giving people room to breathe even if wages are modest. Here's the contrast: Seoul offers variety and convenience, but at a high cost, while Cebu provides affordability and freshness with a more relaxed lifestyle. Food culture reflects the cities themselves: fast and efficient in Seoul, warm and communal in Cebu. So when people ask which is better, the real answer is it depends on what you value: speed and options, or simplicity and comfort. When you compare Seoul and Cebu, one of the biggest lifestyle contrasts comes from how people build community and relationships. Let's begin with Seoul. It's a massive city with more than 10 million people, yet sometimes it feels surprisingly lonely. Everyone is busy commuting, working late, studying, or rushing from one appointment to another. Neighbors often don't know each other's names. And in apartment complexes, people may live side by side for years without ever talking. Social interactions are usually built around work, school, or specific circles, and even then, time is limited. The culture values politeness and efficiency, but it can also create emotional distance. In short, Seoul is a city where you're surrounded by millions, but sometimes feel alone. Now let's look at Cebu. The pace of life is slower, but the warmth of human interaction is everywhere. Families are close-knit, and extended relatives often live nearby. Friends gather in barcadas, tight social groups that function almost like second families. It's common to see neighbors chatting outside their houses, kids playing together in the street, or strangers striking up conversations jeepney. Hospitality is a cornerstone of Filipino culture, and in Cebu, it shows in everyday life. If you're new to the neighborhood, people invite you to eat, share food, or simply talk. Relationships come before schedules, and human connection is treated as a priority, not an afterthought. This difference becomes even clearer in daily routines. In Seoul, socializing often requires planning, booking a cafe, setting a time, and making sure it fits into a busy schedule. In Cebu, community happens naturally at the market, in a tricycle ride, during festivals, or even on the street corner. It's spontaneous and unstructured, but deeply genuine. And here's something important. These differences shape mental health and life satisfaction. Seoul's lifestyle pushes ambition, but can also lead to isolation and stress. Cebu's lifestyle may lack some efficiency, but the sense of belonging helps people feel supported and connected. So here's the point. Seoul builds efficiency. Cebu builds relationships. One city teaches you how to compete. The other reminds you how to belong. Neither is better or worse, they simply reflect different values. And when we put them side by side, we see that lifestyle isn't just about income or convenience, it's about how connected you feel to the people around you. When we compare Seoul and Cebu, another fascinating difference appears in how people enjoy entertainment and music. In Seoul, entertainment is a massive industry. K-pop dominates not only the music scene, but also fashion, television, and even tourism. Concerts are polished productions with perfect choreography, synchronized lights, and high-tech effects. Fans often buy tickets months in advance, line up hours before the show, and follow strict rules during concerts. It's an industry built on perfection, efficiency, and scale. Even beyond concerts, Seoul is filled with karaoke rooms, cafes themed after idols, and endless options for entertainment. You could say that in Seoul, music is not just art, it's a highly organized business machine. In Cebu, the approach is more grassroots and community-driven. Music is everywhere, from small karaoke bars to fiestas with live bands to families casually singing at home. People don't wait for a big stage to enjoy music, they create it in daily life. P-pop groups may not yet have the global scale of K-pop, but they bring authenticity and relatability that connect directly with the audience. At a P-pop concert in Cebu, fans sing every line, often louder than the performers themselves, turning the event into a shared celebration rather than a one-sided show. The contrast is clear. Seoul's entertainment is polished, professional, and large-scale, while Cebu's is intimate, participatory, and community-based. In Seoul, you might watch an idol from far away in a stadium seat. In Cebu, you might find yourself singing along with the performer in a small venue, almost face-to-face. This difference also reflects cultural values. In Korea, there's strong emphasis on discipline, training, and presenting the perfect image. In the Philippines, there's more emphasis on participation, inclusivity, and the joy of sharing. That's why in Cebu, even if the sound system isn't perfect or the lights aren't high-tech, the energy feels alive because everyone is part of the music. So here's the point. Seoul shows how entertainment can reach perfection, while Cebu shows how entertainment can build connection. One impresses you with flawless execution, the other touches you with raw emotion. And together, they reveal that music is not just something to listen to, it's something to experience, whether in a stadium in Seoul or a street fiesta in Cebu. We've talked about the differences between Seoul and Cebu, their pace of life, transportation, food, community, and music. And after looking at all of this, what's the bigger picture? In Seoul, life is defined by speed, structure, and efficiency. Transportation runs like clockwork. Food is convenient, but costly. And entertainment is a polished machine designed to impress on a global stage. But the trade-off is that people often feel pressure, competition, and sometimes even isolation. It's a city where you learn discipline, productivity, and ambition. In Cebu, life is slower, warmer, and more community-centered. Transportation may not always be punctual, but it brings people together. Food is affordable and fresh, often shared with friends or family. Entertainment is less about perfection and more about participation. Everyone gets to sing, dance, and celebrate together. The trade-off is that things can be less predictable or efficient, but the reward is stronger bonds and a sense of belonging. So here's the key point. Seoul connects places. Cebu connects people. Seoul teaches you how to compete. Cebu reminds you how to live. They are different answers to the same question: how do we build a good life? And this is why comparing Seoul and Cebu isn't just about geography, it's about understanding two philosophies of life. One shows us the value of discipline and speed. The other shows us the beauty of patience and community. So let me ask you, which lifestyle do you prefer? Do you want the fast-paced, high-tech energy of Seoul, or the laid-back, people-first culture of Cebu? Comment below and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this comparison and want more insights into culture, music, and P-pop, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This is Korean Danny, and I'll see you in the next video.